Jerry, oh my gosh, I'm gonna butcher this again. What is it, Lanito? Is that, I don't know. I can't. Lanito, right? Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, woohoo! Why is that so echoey? What is happening?
Because you're by a microphone.
Hey, let's keep it going for your host tonight. And then let's keep it going for all the rest of the talent. Haven't they been great tonight? Really, haven't they? Well, don't worry, that'll stop right here. That's right. All right, let's adjust this bit. Oh, there we go. I like that much better. Okay. First of all, I'd like to introduce myself. Once again, my name is Jerry Landhito. I'm sorry, my name is actually Jerry Odenall. But Odenall is a very hard name to say, even harder to spell. That's why on Facebook you can find me at Jerry Landhito.
Okay.
Landhito is Odenall spelled backwards. Isn't that awesome? You like that? Now, before the kiddies run, I just want to know, do you guys, I'm from the land of the Hodag. I'm from Rhinelander. I came all the way down tonight just to spend this time with you folks. You guys know the story of the Hodag at all? Anybody here know the story? Okay, keep it to yourself, because I'm going to tell you. So the story of the Hodag was there was this drunk guy. Oops, I'm sorry. There was this Rhinelander resident that the neighbor's dog was barking a lot and keeping him awake and keeping him away from knocking back his shorties from the Rhinelander brewery there. And so what he did is he made up a story, and he told the neighbor's kid, that if he keeps his dog out at night and the dog's barking, and he made up this story about the Hodag, and this Hodag is a mythical creature that comes out and eats dogs that are barking at night. It's the truth. Right on. So guess what happened? They didn't put their dog out anymore. Right? Isn't that awesome? You can verify that story anytime. It's true. I am a comedian, and I'm also a promoter of shows. We've put on 4 shows in the North Woods of Wisconsin. We sold out 3 of the 4 shows, and our next one is going to be in Antigo. That's what I handed out here, and I know, trust me, I know Antigo is, that's very far for you folks in the middle of winter. I know that it's a long way, but that's where we're having the next show. The next one's already planned in April 23rd in Rhinelander, so that'll be a little bit closer, but I don't want to get too far ahead of myself or anything, and I wanted to do a plug to let you know that there is something to do in the North Woods. Isn't that exciting?
Yes.
Right? Isn't that what it's about? Okay. Now, I am originally from Chicago. I grew up on the South Side, and yes, I am a Bears fan. Bears! Now, I want to let you folks know that when I first moved to Wisconsin, everybody asked me that question, like, "Ooh, you a Bears fan?" And I was like, "Yeah." They're like, "Oh, they make fun of me and say all the things that, you say to Bears fans." You guys know what I'm talking about. So the funny thing was, as time went on, I kept on hearing the same thing. So finally, one day, I walked in to a bar to have a cocktail, and somebody said, "Hey," start talking to somebody. They're like, "Hey, so you are a Bears fan?" I'm like, "Yep." And I'm a Packer fan 14 out of 16 games every year.
Yeah!
Shut them right up. Another thing, the funniest thing was when I first moved up here, one of the other things that people love to say was, "So you staying out of trouble?" Right? Isn't that? You hear it everywhere you go. It's the funniest thing in the world. Well, guess what, guys? I came up with something for this one too, and you can use it anytime you want. So whenever somebody says to you, "Hey, so you staying out of trouble?" you look them right in the eye and you go, "Yep." And you do that first. You look them right in the eye and you go, so they say, "Hey, you staying out of trouble?" You look them right in the eye and you go, "Yep," and still having fun. Oh boy, let me tell you what, that gets the wheels a spinning. You don't gotta say anything. Up in Mercer, there's this Tom's Cabin, I believe is the name of the restaurant. And anytime you walk into the cabin, Tom's Cabin, you sit down, and right there above it says, "In the North Woods, not a lot happens. You sure don't see a lot in the North Woods, but what you hear sure makes up for it." Right? Isn't that funny?
Yep.
Isn't that awesome? Okay, All right, I just want to tell you, ladies, I just want to let you ladies here all know that I love a woman with huge, all natural, bushy eyebrows. You like that? It's true. It's true, ladies, I'm telling you that you're going to these estheticians and you're spending big money to do things to your eyebrows that nobody really likes. I'm just going to tell you that right now. Because whenever guys, like we talk about women all the time, one of the things we talk about is never your eyebrows, okay? We don't talk about it. Because there's no reason we're like, oh my God, did you see that chick? How about those eyebrows? We don't do it unless it's to make fun, okay? So here's what happens. You ladies, you go to the estheticians now, and I'm telling you, some of them aren't doing you justice because you go in and they end up shaving them off and then tattooing them back on. Isn't this correct?
Yeah.
Here's an idea. How about stenciling them first, then shaving them off so you got something to kind of work with? Wouldn't that be a good idea? No, it's not. Because listen, I've seen this. It's 6 inches. I've seen eyebrows 6 inches above your head. Okay? You always look surprised. And it's not just glad to see me. You always look surprised, okay? You know what I'm talking about. You've seen it all before. Here's my favorite, okay? Now, I just want to tell you, when you get your eyebrows done exactly like this, I have a really hard time figuring out your emotions. Because when you come skipping down the street like this, I don't know if you're at a high or a low end of your bipolar cycle. I don't know what's going on. Your face isn't matching the eyebrows. See what I'm talking about? Okay. It's the truth, isn't it? All right. So I just want to let everybody know that I love to drive. I love to drive fast. So when I drive, I drive to the Skyline Comedy Club, and that's 2.5 hours. I do 4 minutes of stand-up, I turn around, I drive 2.5 hours back, okay? Because that's the only club, that's the only professional club within driving distance of 2.5 hours of Runlander. So I'm telling you, when I'm driving, I get on the road and I just want to get there, do what I got to do, and then I want to get back, right? But let me ask you a question, folks. Any of you here that do a lot of driving, have you ever tried to pass somebody up? Then when you try to pass them up, they speed up.
Oh, I hate it.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Anybody love these people? Don't you love these people?
No.
Oh. Strap in, it happens a lot. Did you hear it? It wasn't just me. So what I love to do as soon as this happens, because you know what? I'm not trying to do anything. I'm respecting you. I'm just trying to go around you so that I can continue going on past you. That's it. It's not nothing personal. Don't take it personal. But when you speed up, something snaps inside of me, and I immediately floor it. Okay? Now, as I'm driving down the road, like this, okay? And you're over here. Now we're even. I'm driving like this. This is exactly what I do. I look at you and continue to drive straight and as fast as I can to try to pass you. And I don't care if there's a double yellow line that's coming up. I don't care if there's a double semis coming at me. I will out crazy your ass just to get past you. I do not care. It's the truth. I will do whatever I can. And you know what? For the folks that have had people do that to you, what do? Right? You gotta get past them. What are you gonna do? Just let me get past you. Then guess what? They're gone after 30 seconds. Isn't that nice? That's wonderful, isn't it? I love that part. Oh, so let's see. Okay, so here I am going to leave you with this. A couple of things we can live without in our lives, I personally think. A couple of things we can live without. Guys, whenever we go up to the Shell station, you pull up the pump, what's the first thing you hear? Cheddar News. You with me on this? Have you experienced this at all? I don't need to hear a commercial while I'm pumping gas. I just want to pump gas in peace. I want to hear the lady. Go ahead, Harry, I'm pump number 6. I can't hear it because I hear, Cheddar News. Britney Spears broke up with her dad today. That's not news. That is not news. We do not have to hear this. Another thing, let me ask you a question. You know what is news? The weather. It's still news, right? You like the weather? They have found a way to manipulate the weather now. The weather outside today is 36 degrees. But the real feel makes it feel like it's 21. Where did this come up with? Where are the real feel thermometers? Where are they selling these things? I buy a thermometer, it's got one number on it, right? It's wherever the red line is. Where did they come up with this? Listen, my name is Jerry. Thank you so much for having me tonight. I appreciate it. Thank you.
That was great. Awesome job. Take your tips, Jerry. Yep, take your tips.
Seriously,
Take 'em.
seriously. Seriously.
Take it, Jerry.
Seriously, thank you so much. I
You
really-
earned up.
I didn't expect this. Thank you.
Woo! Come on up. Come on up.
Well, we got to do that now.
Yeah.